Hey guys, JayVee here and welcome back to the Dazzles channel. Week 1 is in the books and we're making progress. In last week's video I weighed in 206.4 and after a week of the One Punch Man challenge, I weighed in at 204.4, losing 2 pounds. Let's talk about it. Running 10 kilometers or 6.21 miles every day is heavy. Now you add on the 100 squats, push-ups, and sit-ups and we're talking about a lot of workload here. I've been splitting the workouts because it's a lot to do in one session. I've been doing my bodyweight exercises in the morning and I do my run at night. And I gotta do my run at night because I live here in Vegas and I can't afford to get a heat stroke. And no, I can't run through the whole 10 kilometers because I don't have the cardiovascular fitness, but that'll improve over time. Right now I've been doing a lot of on and off jogging and walking. I'm pretty much averaging about 11 to 14 minute mile pace. Using my Polar 10 heart rate monitor, which calculates my calorie expenditure, I burn about 1050 to 1200 calories per session, not including the warm up or cool down. The squats, push-ups, and sit-ups are easy money, and I go through them in a breeze. I'd average about 20 minutes per session, burning about 150 to 200 calories per session. I forgot to mention, throughout my runs, I have 1 or 2 sessions treated as recovery, meaning I decrease my speed, I walk a lot more, especially the last mile. I do this when I feel mildly sore or if I feel just a little fatigued, especially following the days of an increased caloric intake, just to let my body recover. Diet, the most important thing in any workout program. Like I said in the last video, your workouts dictate your diet. A 10 kilometer run, 100 squats, push-ups, and sit-ups is very taxing on your body, specifically on your muscles. This workout demand requires a lot of protein, specifically for muscle recovery. With protein being my most important macronutrient, I tailored my diet on a 40-30-30 approach. 40% of my calories coming from protein, 30% coming from carbs, and 30% coming from fats. Since I'm mostly aerobic, doing low intensity, high endurance exercise like the 10 kilometer run, my body is using the oxidative / Krebs cycle energy system the most, which is your body producing ATP or energy by burning off the fat from your fat storages, which unfortunately I have a lot of. I still need a lot of carbohydrates to keep my muscles fed, ensuring that I store enough muscle glycogen for them to do the work. And before I go on, this next part of this section is quite long as I go into a lot of numbers, a lot of calculations, and a lot of concepts. But they're important information, so please bear with me. But if you want to skip ahead, go ahead and skip ahead to the next section. In last week's video, I talked about my maintenance calories, which refers to the amount of calories I need to eat just to maintain my weight. I mentioned about 22 to 2400 calories, assuming that my BMR or my basal metabolic rate accounts for 1800 calories. BMR is a measure of how much energy or calories that your body burns just to stay alive, but at rest, not including your daily activities. By daily activities, of course, I'm talking about exercise and the stuff that you do at work. A couch potato like me or a desk worker like Kirby would require less calories in the day versus one of a firefighter or a construction worker. So using this online calculator, I started with sedentary because of my normal habits. However, I know my metabolism will increase because of my increased level of activity. Therefore, I have to adjust my intake levels accordingly. That being said, I didn't restrict any calories at all. In fact, I increased it by a lot. This workout expends so much calories that I can't afford to restrict my diet. Otherwise, I risk myself a crash or poor recovery potential, which would lead to injury. Like I said last week, I'm gonna eat whatever I want. I had McDonald's twice, I had Taco Bell twice, I even ate all-you-can-eat sushi twice. But I definitely know how to read my labels. I only use my mini food scale to count my servings just so I can guesstimate my caloric intake. And in this recent week, I've been taking in about 3,100 calories per day. Now this is where we get into a lot of math. If we use my maintenance numbers, let's say 2,300, and adjust it for my activity level, which is quite a bit, but we adjust it towards the low end, let's use the number 2,700 calories. So if I need 2,700 calories just to maintain my weight, and then we add on about 1,300 calories expended from my workouts alone, we get about a loss of 4,000 calories per day. So if I expend 4,000 calories a day, and I intake about 3,100 calories per day, you get a net loss of about 900. You stretch out over a week, you get a net loss of 6,300 calories per week. And since 3,500 calories equals 1 pound, I get a net loss of about 1.8 pounds per week. I know, a lot of numbers to keep track of. And I know
the website calculators are the most entirely accurate thing you can use.
But at least it's a general measure that I can use. Really, when it comes to my own fat loss, I really hate having to record everything. I just use the general numbers I get from these calculators. I just count my calories, and then I just adjust accordingly based off what I weigh in daily or weekly. As far as my macros go, I know I'm within them. In the description below, I left a link to the National Athletic Trainers Association's position statement on weight loss. There's a lot of important information about safe practices when losing weight, especially ranges for how much macros that you need according to your activity level. And last but not least, hydration. Your body's made out of a lot of water. You need a lot of water. And since I live in Vegas, it's quite hot. Even at sunset, it can be around 100 degrees. So the hydration is really important to make sure I don't suffer from heat exhaustion or worse, heat stroke. Now let's talk about challenges and future adjustments. Analyzing the One Punch Man workout using the FIT principle, which is frequency, intensity, time, and type, everything is fixed. The 10-kilometer run, the 100 squats, the 100 push-ups, the 100 sit-ups. At some point, the body adapts and I need to establish a new overload so that my body can continue to improve my overall fitness. Since frequency, time, and type are the fixed variables, I can adjust my intensity. For example, my 10-kilometer run, I could finish that faster, meaning I have to run faster. My push-ups, I could add an incline or decline. My squats, I could add some dumbbells. I could actually do it with some weight on my back. And my sit-ups, I could do jackknives instead while holding a medicine ball. All of this are ways I can adjust the workout program just so I can make sure I'm at least improving versus staying stagnant. I prefer to keep my 10-kilometer run casual, but for sure over time my times will be getting shorter and shorter, meaning that I'm able to run faster, improving my cardiovascular fitness. And with my bodyweight exercises, I do them in a HIIT style. HIIT meaning high intensity interval training, doing 10 sets of 10, doing my squats, my push-ups, and my sit-ups. And to move forward with week 2, I'll probably add about 3 to 4 weight training sessions just to add to my madness. As far as my diet goes, I have no significant challenges. However, I will point something out. I do my official weigh-in in the morning after I use the restroom. However, there are some times where I'm actually lighter throughout the day. I'm sure some of you have experienced this where your weight fluctuates throughout the day, whether you're heavier at night or if you're lighter at night. When I weighed in at 204.4 pounds, I actually weighed in about 202.8 later in the afternoon after my run. Sure, it could have been water weight since I'm outside and I'm running, but there wasn't really much change according to my weight scale. And since my lean body mass percentage and my bone density percentage didn't drop, the only explanation could be my true fat that I actually lost. You see, your weight can fluctuate throughout the day because of water. I take in a lot of water, living in this heat and committing to this endurance workout. Plus, your body is about 50 to 60% water anyway. Also note that carbohydrates and sodium retains a lot of water. So if your diet is heavy in carbs and sodium, this could be a small explanation why your weight fluctuates throughout the day and why you're not seeing significant changes on the weight scale. So on the same day that I weighed in at about 204.4 pounds in the morning, and later in the afternoon I weighed in about 202.8, using my afternoon numbers, there's a net loss of 3.6 pounds. However, I'll be sticking to the 2-pound loss because that was my official weight, but I know that I'm probably burning slightly more than what I think I am. Now going back to my previous calculations on my diet, if I'm intaking an average about 3,100 calories a day, and I have a loss of about 2 to 3.6 pounds, I must be burning about 1,000 to 1,800 calories per day. Regardless, it doesn't matter. I'm happy to burn at least 1,000 calories per day because 1,000 calories per day is equivalent to 2 pounds a week. Any more weight loss would be great. However, I'll adjust accordingly in case my body starts to feel some type of way. And let me talk about one more thing, and that's self-care. I said the diet was the most important thing in the workout program, but self-care is equally as important, especially since they intertwine together. Prior to all this, I was only worried about one thing, and that's injuries. Running 10 kilometers per week, especially carrying 206 pounds, is extremely stressful to the lower extremity. When it comes to running, one can experience a lot of pain or soreness in their foot, their ankle, their knee, their hip, or their muscles. Barring actual injury, the pain or soreness that you might be feeling may be actually coming from the muscles itself. Muscles throughout their structure have trigger points which can cause referred pain patterns. For example, a lot of the knee pain that you might experience with no indication of injury might be coming from an overused muscle like your quads. That being said, you need to do a lot of self-care. I use a massage gun on my muscles every session, and I do it for about 30 minutes per. Throw in some foam rolling and a lot of stretching. Like a lot of stretching. A lot of stretching. I do a lot to take care of my body so that each day I can perform to the same level. If you don't have any tools on you, you can at least stretch, because stretching is the most important thing you can do for your muscles. That was a lot, but I hope the information was useful and something that you can use in your own fitness goals. You got a glimpse of how I diet, how I work out, and how I treat my body. And I'm going to emphasize this again. I can eat whatever I want, but I know I can only do this because my caloric expenditure is really high. But I know how to calculate my caloric intake to ensure a deficit. Moving forward, I'll be increasing my workload just a bit. However, I will try to decrease my 3,100 calorie intake average so that I can lose a little more weight. But just like always, I'll be adjusting accordingly based on how my body feels. All in all, week 1 yielded a 2-pound net loss, probably a little more. Moving forward, my video should be a little shorter because I wanted to hammer out some of the concepts in this one. However, I'll be sure not to leave out any other useful information, especially coming from the athletic training side. Just let me know if you need any more clarification on something. Other than that, this concludes week 1. Thank you for watching, especially if you made it towards the end of this video. It means a lot. And of course, like, comment, and subscribe to support our emerging channel, especially if you like this kind of content. I'll see y'all in the next video. JayVee out.